We're looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at DNA HQ. This is the DNA Sports Recap Podcast, live stream, what have you. We're coming at you live.
We're doing it all.
We're doing it.
We're doing it all.
We're doing it all.
And we're multitasking tonight.
We definitely are. We have the Braves Padres game on the other screen over there. So forgive us for a little all over the map here. Our normal walkthrough is not going to be on the screen today because we got playoff baseball going on. And we're definitely going to be chat about that a little bit later. So we'll definitely get into there. We already have a comment in the stream there. We've got a comment from Greg Hawkins, Braves losing to the Padres. Yeah, is that a smiley face?
Yeah, it does. It does look like a smiley face, which hurts my soul, Greg. I don't appreciate that at all. But thanks for the comment, though.
Absolutely. Appreciate the comment.
If you're a Padres fan, this game's looking great for you so far. But
yeah, we'll definitely talk a lot more baseball.
Go Braves.
And we'll definitely talk a lot more baseball. We'll keep that game going. If anybody's keeping an eye on the Mets game, let me know what's going on with that one.
Yes.
But yeah, so it just yeah, man, I don't know. Something about the seating this year just really kind of bothers me. But we'll go ahead and get into that a little bit later on. But the subjects that we're going to be talking about today is our usual pieces. Here we got college football. We've got a little bit of Utah Jazz, a little bit of Utah Hockey Club, and we're going to finish things up with a little bit of baseball there as well. Hopefully, by the time we get to there, the Braves have put up some effort, and we can see.
Well, and the Braves have won that game.
Exactly.
They pretty much locked it up. They're up 10-5. You know what I mean? Just on cruise control.
By that time, yeah. By the time we get there.
That'd be great. Like in the next hour would be fantastic.
That would be great. That'd be great. Yeah. Dude, they have a Chipotle commercial on the other screen. That's just making me hungry.
Oh, man, I'm hungry.
Can't show me that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it here. We're going to go ahead and hit our subjects. Again, folks, if you're watching this live on the live stream, we'd love to hear from you. Drop in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to chime in on what we're talking about. We will be, sharing those with you as we go through this show here. So be sure to chime in and let us know what's going on. You doing all right over there?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
I'm doing all right, but my mic got, how it like spins off of that one?
Oh, yeah.
It did that.
Maybe you need to get some Teflon tape for that,
Something. It's not supposed to spin like that. That's okay. I got it. I got her figured out.
They're okay, right? The mic stands, these things are legit. I like these.
I like the mic stands.
This part right here is leaving a lot
this last bit of articulation has left to be desired. Yeah.
Something we'll definitely talk about that more. But anyway, once again, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. If you are joining us on the live stream, and again, please feel free to comment. We're going to get into our pre-rolls for the rest of the podcast there. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So you want to do the intro to recapping AZ?
Yeah.
In Utah? Okay. We'll just kind of roll through it. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. On this episode of the DNA Sports Recap,
let's break down how the University of Utah played against Arizona.
In the National Hockey League, we have a couple more preseason games to break down for your Utah Hockey Club. Let's discuss how the matches are going so far.
And lots of stuff to talk about in Major League Baseball.
And last but not least, your Utah Jazz. We did have Media Day. Let's go ahead and address that and talk about the upcoming training camp and preseason in the NBA. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
Doing good, buddy. Well, I mean, all things considered.
All things considered, yes. If you're just tuning in, we are watching the Braves game on the other channel there. It looks like actually the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers are a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness there. Okay. Yeah. So that game's a little bit more interesting.
A lot more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. We're supporting your boy AJ over there and trying helping the wheel the Braves to a win here.
Go Braves.
Because it's not my own self-interest to tire out the Padres. That's not my self-interest at all. So anyway, again, we'll talk more about that later because, I've got some beef to talk about how the playoffs work with this new process.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about some college football, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's go ahead and first before we talk about specifically about football. Well, another ball had dropped is when it comes to conference realignment, and that's Gonzaga joining the Pac-12. Let me ask you this: is this nothing, something, or everything?
I mean, I think it's something for sure. Gonzaga adding Gonzaga to the Pac-12 It does kind of make it look like the Pac-12 is looking to be a basketball conference.
Yeah. I thought that was very interesting. A college basketball powerhouse. And you got to think about that.
And it's kind of interesting because Gonzaga doesn't have a football team.
No.
So since they don't, the Pac-12 will still need to add at least one football playing member to meet their 8-team requirement.
That's true.
So they still got some work to do. We are going to see some more additions still. But adding Gonzaga makes the conference. It gives them a whole nother look. This makes them pretty strong. Washington State, Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State, and Gonzaga have all reached the NCAA tournament last year.
Oh, there you go. And so this is a long-term play.
And San Diego State played in the national championship game 2 seasons ago.
Okay, so this kind of makes it less like a last thing and more like a long-term play. Like the Pac-12 is not going to just go after just football. We're going to go.
Yeah, it looks like they're definitely trying to get some basketball talent in there.
I love that. I don't know how I missed that, but I did, and I absolutely love it. I think that's great. For me, if it is definitely something for the rest of college football, for the Mountain West, this is everything, right?
Yeah.
You are now in, and
you're getting pretty close to hitting the panic button in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is that what you're saying?
Well, basically you have no other move here.
Right.
Like you have no choice. This is a hostile takeover of your conference, basically, what the Pac-12 just did. Gonzaga being one of the top basketball programs in the country, and let's face it, a big part of the draw for the Mountain West.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about how the fact that all those other schools that were just joining basically just kind of solidified the Pac-12 as one of the premier, conferences when it comes to college basketball. But yeah, this is over, man, for them. The Mountain West Conference, there's no need to talk about merging. There's no need to talk about, what's going to happen here. Basically, there's no other option for the Mountain West other than to talk about merging with the Pac-12 at this point.
The Mountain West did just add another team, though. Oh, no, the Mountain West is in talks to add Texas State. So far, Texas State is denied, but they're in negotiation to add Texas State to the Mountain West Conference,
which would be fine. That would get you into, but you've lost all your schools of relevance
and all your talented schools too,
and all your talented schools. You're basically now becoming like the Sky Conference or whatever.
Big Sky.
We
missed out on.
We did miss out on the cheers. I figured we'd do it after the segment, but that's okay.
Okay.
I figured it would be more needing to talk about before we talk about the Utes. Just saying. But
probably a good point.
Yeah. So we'll get to it.
I'm going to need that.
We'll get to it.
Oh, I like that.
Some development. They're pulling out Musgrove on 44 pitches. Something's happening there. All right. Well, hey, they do have the best bullpen in baseball. Which team has the best ERA in all Major League Baseball?
ERA? Like team-wide ERA? I don't.
The Atlanta Braves.
Do they?
Yep.
I could believe
that. Surprisingly enough.
I could believe that. Chris Sale had a crazy low ERA, and then Fried. Lopez had a great ERA the whole season.
Mm-hmm. Probably would have been a good time for us to talk baseball first this week.
Yeah, it probably would have been.
But anyway, coming back to this. Yeah,
let's get through all this stuff and then we can go back to baseball.
Yeah. So basically, like I'm saying,
since when am I excited to talk baseball, Darren?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's been a change.
I will have to say though, I'm proud of it. Like I very much I appreciate the growth that I'm seeing in my co-host over here.
Yeah.
My partner in crime.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful game, my friend. It's a beautiful game.
Well, I've always loved baseball.
Yeah, it's great to play, good to watch, especially now with the rules, and we'll get into all that later. But so yeah, I'm basically telling you right now, when it comes to the Pac-12, the Mountain West, this was, like I mentioned, a hostile takeover. They are going after the jugular for the Mountain West Conference. It doesn't matter who they add; they're not going unless they steal a team from the ACC or somewhere like that. They don't really,
and they're not going to get anybody from the AC. They're not going to get anybody from other Power 5 conferences.
Maybe UConn, if you can somehow swing UConn.
But how does UConn fit into the Mountain West? That's an absolute nightmare, man.
It is, but again, we don't seem to care about geography anymore in college sports. So
right,
but basically, they have no choice, man. And like I said, we'll talk more about it here in a little bit. There, I believe you have something on that, don't you? When it comes to the presentation of the next step in college football.
I actually didn't make any notes on it because it wasn't on the thing. I just sent you that article last night.
For crying out loud. You're not allowed to update the thing. Like literally all the show ideas have to come from me. Come on now.
I updated the list. There was some on there. I updated it last week.
It wasn't on the list. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll definitely
can pull it up though. Absolutely.
We'll dive into it a little bit more deeper in next week's episode. But basically what we're talking about here is something we talked about last week when it comes to
Major conference realignment.
Major conference realignment. We talked about it that this year for the BYU and Utah is basically just an audition to be invited to the big boy table later on.
Yep.
And we now know officially what that proposal looks like. It's not my idea that we talked about last week on relegation, where the worst team would be demoted and the best team from the lower conference would be promoted.
Yeah.
But it is somewhat close.
Yeah. Well, and the fact was, is when we talked about it last week, the whole conversation was based around the Pac-12 conference and how they're going to continue to do that in the Pac-12 conference.
Absolutely.
And if that works in the conference to move teams up and out, to see that done on a much larger scale is much different. And let's break into it next week, because I think we'll both have some topics for discussion on that.
Yeah, we'll definitely deep dive on that, because I'm not really prepared to talk about all the intricacies on it. I've read it twice, but I haven't really gone through a couple of scenarios in my head yet. So we'll definitely dive into that. Let us know in the comments down below, folks, what you think about that, and we'll get into it if you want us to do a deep dive on that. We also have a comment here from McKinley. McKinley, let's see here. You probably just don't want to talk about the Utes choking their revenge game.
And ruining the undefeated Holy War.
That's right.
We're getting into it. Don't you worry, buddy. We're going to talk Utah football.
Think about that, though. Think about that. Going into week 9 in college football, you have a 7-1 Utes team and an 8-0 BYU team.
I mean, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
I mean, that's what we were getting crazy last week, and all of a sudden we're going to be realists, but that's okay. Coming from the same guy who said the Utes were going to be the national champions 2 weeks ago.
I still believe that.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves when I talk about an undefeated BYU team. That's okay. All right, let's go ahead and but yeah, so when it comes to that, with Gonzaga joining the Pac-12, I think it's a great move on the Pac-12's part. It's basically kind of just that finisher move to the Mountain West. I don't see their path forward on this other than being, like you mentioned, a Big Sky type conference. They're really kind of out of options, man. They got to talk about potential merger, doing something with that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they've got to make the Pac-12's got to find a football team that can add value to this conference, that can continue to grow their TV share. And I mean, I think they need to find a team geographically that they can bring in that does make sense, because that's what the Pac-12 is.
Mm-hmm.
All of these teams fit that bill already. I think they do try to keep going after Mountain West teams strictly because geographically they all work.
Do you think Texas is trying to get a bidding war between the Mountain West and Pac-12?
Texas State? No.
Texas State.
Yeah, Texas State doesn't have a chance to go to the Pac-12.
Yeah, I think it's a little too far. Yeah, but I think we pulled in a bunch of state teams. Why not?
Yeah.
But we obviously now know why we pulled in so many state teams, as we were going after the college basketball side.
Yeah.
We got another comment here from Greg Hawkins. I don't really see the point of two separate G5 Western conferences, the Pac-12 and the Mountain West Conference.
Feel like
lateral conferences.
I mean, that's a great point.
True.
Because realistically, all you've done is pull all the teams. You left the two worst teams from the Pac-12 and then pulled all of the best, quote unquote, best teams from the Mountain West Conference. I mean, it really is two group of five conferences that are now split in. I mean, I do think with the Pac-12 funding that those schools get, it's going to help them in recruiting. We saw it happen at the University of Utah. We saw it happen anytime you move into a potential Power 5 conference, you do get some extra recruiting and that kind of stuff. It helps build some of those programs up. Do I think that every one of those programs are just going to move into contender status, after a couple of years? That's tough to say, but I think it helps them. I mean, I think it's going to get those teams a lot better. It's going to help them, get some better quality players in there that they might not have had a chance at before.
Yeah, like we talked about before, when it comes down to this is all an audition, man. Everything is talking about trying to get in front of the big boys there. They're going to be picking on the top 50 teams in the league, and you want to be one of those top 50 teams. You want to be the haves, not the have-nots. And the Pac-12 is going to have a higher dollar amount that these players are going to get their hands on. They're going to allow them to have more money to grow their team and get better eyes on them. So I just think that's all of what this is. I think it's smart by any team who moved from the Mountain West to the Pac-12, because it's just going to do better for them down the road. More money, more eyeballs, better chances you get invited to the big dance there for sure.
Yep.
All right. So you want to go ahead and pivot on over to talk a little bit about your user. Let's recap the Arizona game.
Yeah. Let's do it
for you. All right.
Yep.
All right. Cheers before that. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers to you guys.
I gotta say, man, I'm gonna be sad when this bottle's gone.
Me too, but I am excited to do another whiskey review.
Yeah, more to come on that, guys. More to come on that.
Yeah.
We did film a whiskey review episode where we talked about this whiskey, Buffalo Trace. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel and check it out, because we will have that one up shortly. That is a you know what to edit, by the way.
Is that?
Yeah, that's not been an easy process to edit for sure. Forgot about how else to do those, but anyway, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit about your University of Utah, and let's recap the loss there to Arizona in the blackout game last Saturday. Recapping the game, eventually we were going to have a return to the norm for Isaac, and we're going to be able. We're not going to be able to rely on our defense to win every game, right?
Right.
Give Arizona some credit here for making
all the credit.
For making, some key third down conversions, and basically be able to run the ball for a team that's not known for running the ball. They passed the ball, and they did. I think it was like 40 something runs or something like that on that game. Something like high 30s, 40s run plays for the Arizona, which I thought was out of.
I didn't see that stat.
Okay,
I didn't know if they had quite that many rush attempts, but it was a lot more. It was a lot more, and they were a lot more productive than they have been in the past.
Absolutely. And when it comes to that, they did upset the Utes, and I just think that this is definitely a situation where the Utes were kind of just thinking there was no way they're going to lose that game, and they were kind of not taking Arizona as seriously as they should after seeing the whomping they got from the K-State game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to start off on this game, and you got to look at some of the things that happened in this, and really early, Utah absolutely marches the ball down the field. They take the kickoff, they march the ball right down the field, and the feeling at Rice Eccles during that first drive was this game's going to be a blowout because there's nothing they can do to stop us.
Right.
I mean, it was loud, it was intense. They get stood up on the 3-yard line and turn the ball over on downs. Okay, all good. We don't get away with any points. We don't take a field goal. Okay. The energy was still really good in the arena. You know what I mean? Like we turned the ball over. They ended up punting it out. I mean, it wasn't bad, but the offense moves the ball right down the field again. And I mean, pretty much the same thing happens. It's pretty much a rinse and repeat. They have, they don't get in they don't get in for a touchdown again. And at that point, you're starting to get a little anxious. Everyone in the crowd is asking, why are we not kicking a field goal and taking 3 points at minimum?
Right.
In this situation, why are we trying to push and go for 7? I didn't hate it. I think Utah was trying to overwhelm Arizona and kind of take the wind out of their sails really early, kind of make them feel like they were out of this game really early, because that's what they do in blackout games. They want to outscore you. They want to punch you in the mouth. They want to defensively overpower you. I mean, Utah led the game in first downs. They converted more third downs. They ran more plays. They had less penalties. And I mean, and they had 3 more minutes of possession time. All those things typically equal a win.
Right.
And the offense didn't really look that bad. The problem was we couldn't put enough plays together to actually get in the end zone. So I feel like Utah tried to slip this game. I feel like they tried to just kind of slip one under the table. If Cam was 90%, should he have gone? Yes, probably. But the fact is Utah thought, it's a night game. It's at Rice Eccles. This Arizona team just lost badly to K-State. And I think we can get this win in here with Isaac under center. Yeah, with Isaac under center. And
you almost slipped up though. You questioned it.
Yeah, I did question it. and then we'll be good for Cam to take a couple of weeks off and be 100%. Obviously, that doesn't work out, right? It doesn't. I guess my opinion on this game is, and just to kind of wrap it up, Utah's the better football team. Arizona had a much better football game. They won. I mean, they played better. They were more prepared. It seemed like they knew every single time we were running a pass and every single time we were running a rush. They did a really good job of putting pressure on Isaac Wilson and making him make quick decisions, just like OK State did. They saw that he kind of struggled in that. They applied a lot of pressure. They rushed a lot. So, I mean, they did all the right things. They won the football game. They absolutely deserve to win that football game. They looked better.
I think people are underestimating Arizona, man. I mean, at the beginning of the year, yeah, the first part of the year they didn't show great. But you and I both said before the season started, before camp opened up, that Arizona was going to be a good team this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
We both had them in like the pantheon of either in the top 5 or just out of the top 5 of the conference, right? So I don't know. Am I surprised they lost to Arizona? Yeah, a little bit, but I'm also not surprised. looking back, because obviously, OK State is not nearly as good as we thought they were, with the way they're playing this year.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Kansas State is up and down. You don't know what you got going on there, and so I just think that, people are underestimating Arizona, and, you have a freshman quarterback that's coming in here who's an 18-year-old kid who was playing high school football in April. This is exactly where we thought this team was going to be at this point of the season.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
I don't think fans are upset that we've lost the Arizona game. I think they're upset with the situation.
Oh, they are. I mean, and as a Utah fan, the most frustrating thing is you keep thinking you keep thinking that Cam's coming back, because I'm going to tell you, in my very humble opinion, if Cam Rising's back, we beat them 35-10.
Yeah. Do you mind if I go off on a little bit of rant on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to town.
Okay. So I don't want to get off on too much of a rant here, but I listen to a lot of talk radio and a lot of podcasts, and the pulse of the fan base is they are tired of this will he, won't he with Cam Rising.
Mm-hmm.
KSL Sports stated that it was rumored that Cam was taking the snaps all the way through Wednesday of last week and giving Isaac only 2 days of practice with the ones. We're in a new age of college athletics. This last couple seasons. Guess what? Cam is getting paid 7 figures allegedly to play football for the Utes. And if I'm a season ticket holder and I just had my prices raised by 10% for NIL, or I'm a booster who's throwing just an unnecessary amount of money at Cam to play football for the Utes, and you're not playing, I can understand their frustration.
Yeah.
Now you're now a professional athlete. You have not unionized. You have not collectively bargained like the MLB has and the NBA has to ensure that you are getting paid whether you're healthy or not. I feel like the fans and these boosters deserve to have more clarity on their team and when their quarterback is available to play or not. This is not a shot towards Cam. I believe he is injured. I believe he cannot play. There's images of him doing a signing where he's had 2 separate fingers braced. And you're not bracing your fingers with braces if you have just a cut, right? He is hurt. He is injured. This does not fall on Cam at all. But what this does fall on is this does fall on the Utes. I do not like the way that they're handling this. This is PTSD in its finest when it comes to Utes fans. We are dealing
absolutely
with the exact same storyline. The will he, won't he. Oh, well, he's taking snaps, looking good in practice. And then he goes out there for the coin flip, all suited up. And then when they come back out, it's Isaac Wilson that's taking the field.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just done with this. It's not fooling anybody. All this is doing is hurting the University of Utah going forward. You think these boosters and these season ticket holders are going to put up with this kind of,
not for long
sleight of hand?
Yeah.
You're basically telling boosters, hey, we're paying $1 million for this quarterback who isn't playing right now. How many of those boosters are going to come back next when you need to pay the next quarterback to stick around on the program?
Right.
You're losing your opportunity to generate NIL money. And yeah, maybe going down forward, maybe the NIL looks a little different. But for me, right now, there needs to be more clarity when it comes to the University of Utah. It's a perfect example is BYU. Down the way, Connor, he came on the radio at the KSL The Zone, and they asked him 2 things. What happened and when are you coming back? He answered both of those questions. You know what's not going to be asked of Kalai Sitake for the next 2 weeks, next 6 weeks? When's Connor back? He's not going to ask it. No one's going to ask it. And you know what? To give me this whole story that it's the University of Utah is just playing the game and making the other opponent plan for 2 teams. Guess what? You don't have to worry about with the University of Utah. All you have to do is plan for Cam. And if Cam's not in, guess what? Your job is a lot easier. That's just the way it is. It's not like Cam is a dynamic running quarterback and it's like Isaac Wilson throws the ball. It's not like they're 2 different types of quarterbacks. Cam is just a much better quarterback than Isaac is.
Yeah.
So if you plan for Cam and you get Isaac, guess what? You overplanned, you overprepared, and you're going to be ready to win the game, which is exactly what Arizona did.
Yeah, it's like blitz more.
Exactly.
We're going to send way more pressure this game because Cam's not in there. You can't blitz as much with Cam in there because he does make quicker decisions and he does pick up blitzes way faster. He can pick you apart if you're constantly blitzing him. But Isaac's not going to do that.
No. And so just kind of wrap this up here. There's reasons why I'm against what I'm talking about when it comes to clarity and having to announce an injury report. like they do with the SEC and like the Big Ten is actually talking about doing as well. There's reasons why I don't like this, and we'll get into that in a future video. But AZ just simply had a week to prepare for Utah, and Utah gets a week to prep now for the Sun Devils. Just remember when Florida and Tim Tebow, they had a bad last going into a bye week and ended up winning the national championship. And I hope that's what we can look forward to for University of Utah.
Yep. I love it. That's a great take, man. Craig Hawkins said, Whittingham's gamesmanship is really frustrating, though.
You missed the one above.
Oh.
And the one above that, too.
Oh, wow.
And the one above that, too.
Oh, my goodness. Looked like they knew Cam Glassbones Rising wasn't going to play. Took advantage of this and bullied a wet quarterback. Yeah. These red zone issues are going to be an issue with this offense. Cam seems to be able to adjust plays at the line and create when plays break down. Isaac will get there. Totally agree.
Yeah. I love where Isaac is at.
Yeah. If it isn't like Utah's game plan changes when the second quarterback is in, our game plan has been an open set for 20 years at the point. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's an open secret. Absolutely. And Whittingham's gamemanship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are all such great points. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in and for commenting, because, you guys are exactly right. The fact is Utah doesn't change their offensive game plan, whether it's Isaac or Cam. You might see a little more of the playbook with Cam in there, but that doesn't mean they're going to run anything different. They're still going to try to run the ball 50-50 as far as pass plays. They're still going to continue to play physical defense. Like, Utah is who Utah is. That's not changing anything.
No, I agree. And we got another comment here from Pacific Northwest Utes. And we Jorge Soler just went deep.
That's excellent.
I don't know why you guys didn't pay that guy in the first place. So anyway, we've got a comment here from Pacific Northwest Ute. This game was a loss. This game was lost on coaching, not injuries. Utah overlooked Arizona by going for it twice and coming up empty. The run game was underused, even if it was the safe option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally agree.
I agree to an extent on that, but I don't think necessarily that the coaching staff overlooked Arizona. I would definitely not Cal Whittingham. He never looks past the opponent in front of him. Even if you're playing Middle Tennessee State, he treats every single opponent like they're the best they're going to face all year. Now, does that mean the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator may have dropped the ball a little bit, and the quarterback he kind of looked? You were at the game. The fans kind of just definitely had that feeling of, okay, this is kind of weird, but don't worry. Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, we got this. There's no way we lose this game.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you to an extent on that for sure. And why did Utah insist on running down the middle of the red zone?
Yeah,
dude, that's a good point. I was actually going to ask you that, but
every single person was asking that same question. Like, we have so many options.
Because I was watching the game, but you were there, so I was like, "Are you saying something I'm not? Why are we going down?"
And the drive the first one that they stalled was coming into my end zone because I was on like the corner, and everyone's just like, "Okay, like we're gonna run something into the flat,
yeah,
like anything, right? We got tight ends that are 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something with one of those guys." No, I've got an idea. Yeah, I've got an idea. Let's give it to Mekhi Bernard and just go right up the middle. That's insanity. I'll never understand.
Yeah, we also got another comment here from Greg Hawkins saying 3rd and 10, Mitchell comes in and inside zone.
Yeah. Well, and also, and because they switched Mike Mitchell in one of those, and it's like Mike Mitchell is a power running back. That's like their whole thing is he's a big, like he's a 3 to 4 yard guy. Mm-hmm. Why are you putting him in a 3rd and 10 situation, asking him to get 10 yards?
Oh yeah.
You're begging to punt the ball.
Yeah. That's not the best look for sure. Utah disrespected Arizona by going for 7. They should have settled for 2 field goals. Exactly what you said earlier. I think you're in a much better position to put this team away in the second half if you get the give me points on the board and get 6, early on in the first half.
Get 6 easy ones.
And then don't make the gap look insurmountable. And
the fact is if you come down and score and get a field goal, and then you kick the ball off to him and you 3 and out him, and you come down and you kick another field goal, the game's starting to feel much different. you're then working to the Kyle Whittingham mantra that is burn the clock, run it down, score points, don't let them score any. Instead, you just let Arizona take all the momentum, 100% of it, by getting a 4th down stop on the goal line, letting them just take the ball offensively, and then getting him another 4th down stop on the goal line. It's just like, what, we're just trying to hand them all the momentum in this whole game. And that's exactly what we did.
Oh no. Agreed.
So
yeah, I definitely understand that, man. And like I said, when it comes to that, I don't want to talk about dire straits. I don't want to act like the sky is falling when it comes to this, Utes fans. This is, when it comes to AJ and I, we both thought this is exactly what the score would be at this. Their record would be at this time. We thought they would be,
4-1
4-1
at the bye week. Yep.
At the bye week. This is exactly where we're expecting to be. And we still expect them to be conference champions because, I don't think anybody's going to go through this with, I think the conference championship game could be with a team with 2 losses.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there will be.
So I just, and let's not kid ourselves here. This is a Utah team that have won the Pac-12 championship 9-3 both years.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, par for the course for this team. We were expecting the loss to come against OK State, not against Arizona, but this is exactly where we want to be. We'll right the ship against Arizona State. And then I believe they play against Houston.
Yep. At Houston. Is their next game.
And then from there, we have one other game. And I believe that is before BYU. There's another game.
No, they got a bye week.
Oh, that's right. There's a bye week. So yeah, Arizona State, then Houston, then the rivalry game, which is not on rivalry week. And we see that.
Oh, no, it might be Arizona State, Houston, Colorado.
Yes.
Bye week. And then BYU.
Yeah. Bye week. We don't have 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
We have 2 bye weeks.
Pretty sure there's 2 this season. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, all right. I don't know why we really need 2 bye weeks, but that's okay. Anyway,
I feel like that's what I saw.
Football's getting soft, man.
If you guys could check it for us, leave us a comment. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
Clock management in the second half was pretty bad, also.
Yeah, they tried to play Whittingham second quarter football like they had the lead, but they didn't.
Well, exactly. It's just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're in a huddle. There's 5 minutes left, and we're in a huddle. Like when we're in a clear need 2 touchdown scenario.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, guys, this is the worst possible outcome here. Like, just you're burning 30 seconds every single time you snap the ball.
Agreed. I don't know. That's a terrible pitch, man. When it comes back like that, that's nasty. That's a ball out of hand, and then it comes back and almost catches the zone. That's impossible to hit, man. San Diego, man, they got a good bullpen for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club, shall we? Again, folks, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think as far as the University of Utah. Are you, the sky's falling? Is this all doom and gloom? Or are you with us and we're just kind of experiencing a little bit of PTSD with this situation when it comes to the Utes? And this is kind of a rinse and repeat about how things went last year. And just, we're just a little fed up with how that goes. Are you worried about the team and the football, or are you worried about other things?
Yeah.
Because that's honestly what we should be talking about right now, which is the football. And that's not what anybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we wanted to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, keep in mind, folks, we did hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If you have subscribed to this channel, we deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like we mentioned before, we're giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. And we look forward to giving that money away. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep you updated on that.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and move on over and talk a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and break down your Utah Hockey Club. Green for the Utah Hockey Club.
No, I was trying to get it to blue. I'm going to be honest with you. 2 more times. There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
It's a little dark blue, but it'll count.
One more time, I think, is light blue.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Sorry, guys. We need to put a little sticker with how many clicks it is, or something.
I just don't want to pay $12 for an app to select the colors. It's just a $12 a month for an app selection. Yeah,
that's going to be a hard pass.
You guys, let me know out there if you know some RGB lights that you can use. It doesn't want to become a Internet of Things type app where they charge you monthly just to change the colors. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club. So when it comes to that here, well, last we talked about, they were 2-1 in the preseason.
Yeah.
And now they've played 3 more preseason games. Now they did lose a game to the Golden Knights.
Yep, that was their one loss.
They lost 5-2 in that game. The Golden Knights won the battle with the shots on goal. They had 16 of their 20. They were 16 and 26. So Utah had 16 shots on goal. The Golden Knights had 26 shots on goal. For those of you who are new to the sport, we'll kind of break these down as we go because we are new to this as well. If we missed something in the comments, let us know what we missed there. But as face-off percentage, the Golden Knights had them at 55.4% to the 44.6% for Utah. And also on power play percentage, Utah was at 25 with the Golden Knights at 33%. The Vegas Golden Knights also blocked almost double the shots when it comes to in net there, where the Utah blocking 9 and the the Golden Knights having blocking 17 shots on net. So do you got anything on that game?
No, I mean, that was kind of a tough game to watch. They didn't play as many of their full-time starters in that one as they did some of the other ones.
Yeah, I think that's more later on in the preseason.
Yeah, and I think it's weird because I feel like they'll play some of their key guys in different points. Like you're definitely seeing through the rotation. So that was kind of a tough one to watch. I mean, especially because you've seen a few of these games, and in some of these games they just look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the game against the Avalanche, they looked really good. I mean, they end up winning that game 6-3, and it's like, where was this team last game? So.
Oh yeah, it's true. That's true. We have another comment here from Greg Hawkins.
I actually love this.
The Utah. I like the Utah Hockey Club. I have no idea what I'm watching yet, really.
Greg, you have found exactly the channel, my friend, that you should be watching.
You are exactly right, because this is exactly how we are feeling, and we're learning as we go, man. You and I both watched a lot of Coyotes games coming down the stretch to try to figure out the sport. I watched a lot of PNX.
PHNX Sports,
PHNX Sports on YouTube to get a better idea of what the team is like and all that. So yeah, we're definitely right there with you, just learning the new sport and learning a new type of new team that we want to be following for sure. Yeah, so we're right there with you. So it's a good question, man. I mean, I felt like they did have a lot of less ice time as far as the players were expecting to see. But again, that's not what preseason about. Preseason is about,
finding out who's going to make the roster, period.
Find out who's going to make the roster, and then also who is going to be. Dude, just right down the center of the plate, dude. What are you doing? And also finding out, what we have with these young players, right?
Yeah.
How they're going to contribute, and kind of getting a better idea of how the whole roster is going to shake out and how the new defense is going to play together. I think we definitely need to kind of give these these young kids a lot of time on the ice to really kind of understand it. But yeah, so coming back on that, you mentioned there against the Colorado Avalanche, Dylan Guenther had 2 goals, 1 assist. Clayton Keller added 1 goal, 2 assists as well. They were a bit disconnected in the first period, spending most of the time in their own zone. But Tej did make his preseason debut, recovering from a hip surgery.
Right.
So that was super awesome to see our first overall draft pick as a franchise out there on the ice.
Yeah.
One of the first things that jumped out to most people is about this kid who's only 18 is his strength. He seemed to be able to handle a lot of the physicality. He did have a reverse hit in the game. And he did play a lot of that physical play that you just don't expect to see out of a young kid with a lot of grown men on the ice.
Yeah, he definitely looked like a man amongst boys. Like he wasn't scared of the moment. It wasn't too big for him. I mean, obviously hockey is it's a grown man sport. I mean, like you've got to have a grown man body to be playing hockey, period. You're not going in there like, some of these 19-year-old bucks.
Did I say that?
No, sorry.
Okay.
PNWU just commented it.
I did see that. Okay, go ahead and finish yourself. We'll get to the comments.
But I was just saying, like, it's not like you're seeing like NBA basketball players at 19 years old coming in,
right,
skin and bones, 185 pounds soaking wet. All these guys are big, physical dudes. Tej came in and he looked really good out there. He was playing physical. He played really fast. Yeah, it was great. I mean, Mikhail Sergachev looked really good in this game.
Mhm.
He had one of those assists to Dylan Gunther. So, um, yeah, I mean, this game was fun because I don't know how much scoring actually usually happens in hockey, but 6-3 was a whole lot of scoring. It seemed like.
Yeah, definitely for hockey. That's not
Yeah.
normal. That's not normal. Yeah, no, I have to agree with you on that one, man. And then as when it comes to that, we also have game 3 against the San Jose Sharks, which went down yesterday.
Yep.
The Utah Hockey Club won that game 3-1. We are now 4-1 in preseason, which is amazing, which is awesome. Kaylor Yamamoto, which is nice to see a name on the Utah hockey team with the Yamamoto on there. We'll talk more about Yamamoto later. But had 2 goals and also scored 2 points, had 3 shots on goal. And when it comes to the other goal, that also was come from Sean Dursey on that. We had also a few other people there on the team there that made a few extra shots on goal there. You had Josh Doan, who did 3 shots on goal. Yamamoto had 3. And then also Keller had 2 points on 2 assists. And then Barrett had 2 points on 2 assists as well. So nice little balanced attack there on a typical scoring, what you see at Utah in a hockey game there, of 3-1. But yeah, I'm loving it so far, man. I'm learning a lot about this team, learning a lot about the sport as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of exciting for Kyler Yamamoto because his 2 goals, that's a great game for him. I mean, he's just one of these younger kids trying to find a roster spot. He's not, to kind of have a breakout game against the Sharks was really good for him to potentially get a shot to play a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and jump into some of those comments there. I'm learning a lot about hockey along with Ryan Smith per media day. You think he would learn more about hockey when he decided to acquire a team? You think when he actually put this plan into place, which believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that he wanted to buy a hockey team way before he ever purchased the Jazz. That was the end game way before that.
Yeah.
So you think, he would be already, have some knowledge of a sport that he, now owns a team from. Young Pucks, LOL. I think that's funny. I'm missing the joke there though. Like, did I accidentally say Young Pucks?
No. He's just calling them instead of Young Bucks. He's just saying Young Pucks. Yeah.
There we go. Pacific Northwest Ute. You coined it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the name going forward on the DNA Sports Recap for your boys on the ice there. Young Pucks.
All the Young Pucks. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. A man amongst Yetis, if you will. Very true. Very true. I think that's like the worst kept secret in hockey right now is that's pretty much going to be what that team's name is going to be. I'll be shocked if it's anything else at this point.
Absolutely.
Everybody jokes about the Yeti thing, and it just seems like it's going to be a thing.
We're just going to be the Yeti, man.
We're just going to be the Yeti.
Got to own it.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. And then next to that, we have Greg Hawkins, Yamamoto, the Dodgers pitching legend. Talk about multi-talented. Yeah, man, those players from Japan, man. You got Ohtani, who can pitch and
do
hit.
it all.
He's a 6-tool player, and Yamamoto, he's he throws, gas on the hill. He likes to practice with javelins. He throws javelins for warm up, and he happens to play a little bit of hockey. You got to make it happen. Got to make it happen. Yamamoto, man, it's freaking awesome. We also have another comment here from Jonathan Blazer. Okay, man, don't know about that one. Something about WWE and Phoenix. We talk about real sports here, Jonathan. Appreciate. Thanks for joining the channel, joining the live stream. Love the comment there. But yeah, don't know what the WWE part is about. So. We talk about the actual sports here, not that kind of stuff. Although I used to be really big into the WCW, NWO stuff back in the day.
You would.
That was awesome.
No, I did. I was too, actually.
Absolutely loved it.
Anyways, don't judge us for that.
Don't judge us for that.
We do watch real sports now.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Jonathan, for jumping in. Appreciate it, man. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right. So we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about your Utah Hockey Club and how they're doing so far. We'd love to hear from you on that. Real quick here before we jump into the next subject, we did want to also mention we did launch a channel specifically for the Utah Hockey Club called Utah Hockey DNA. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, the Utah Hockey channel, Utah Hockey DNA will be linked in the comments down below. Be sure to jump over there if you're watching us for the hockey content. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be giving away one of those sick new Utah Hockey Club sweaters once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to check us out over there.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, it's great. It's be fun. All right. So you want to go ahead and pivot on over to put the main overlay back on. I'm glad that you can work that out. So, it's good.
I got you.
I'm doing this left-handed and he's got his right hand, and I'm trying to do that. So that's
he's the junior executive show producer.
Yeah, our executive producer is watching, so appreciate. Thanks for tuning in and let us know and keep an eye on things. Make sure we're running smoothly there. Highest paid member of the team. All right. So do you want to go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit about your Utah Jazz?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I do.
You be ready?
I was born ready.
Okay. Let's go ahead and break down your Utah Jazz. All right, so let's go ahead and first talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz. Now, we did have Media Day. Media Day was held September 30th. Now, before I get into that, I got to say, I don't know if it's just the fact that it's the Utah Hockey Club that we spoke about in the last segment is here, and that's very exciting. It's a new team, new franchise here. But I don't think I've seen a time since the early 2000s where there's less excitement and less anticipation around an upcoming Jazz season. We may have some clarity on that from Coach Hardy, which you're going to get into in a minute. But what are you expecting to see from a Utah Jazz season right now?
Well, I mean, just like you just mentioned, I mean, Coach Hardy spelled it out that he's going to give these young guys some playing time, and we need to see what we have with some of these young players. So I'm expecting to see a lot more playing time for some of these young guys. They need to know what they have with these guys. They need to know if they're going to stay on the roster, if all these draft picks were worth it. They need to know how they're drafting guys. I mean, there's a whole lot that needs to be kind of hammered out. This is the season to do it. It seems like everyone's kind of on board as far as this is going. This season is going to be a wash. We're not looking to win a ton of ball games. We're looking to get guys in good positions to get some veteran leadership. That's why we have guys like Jordan Clarkson, Lauri Markkanen, Patty Mills on the roster. It is to teach these guys how to be NBA level basketball players and ready night in, night out, and see how they're going to play through the long 82 game NBA season.
Yeah, man, I have to agree with you on that one. I think this is kind of the Jazz just kind of throwing up the white flag, man. I mean, we heard him talk all off season at locker cleanouts, how they're going to go big game hunting and how they were going after the trade deadline and how they were going to bring in some stars. And Ryan Smith told Danny Ainge that he wants this team to compete now. And we watched them strike out on everything. I think this is basically just them waving the right flag and admitting that they are not in a position right now to be a team that is going to compete for a playoff spot. I mean, if they are, what good is it going to be get into the bottom 10, 8 to 10 spot and have to have play in?
I mean, I think my biggest issue with this is you're about 2 years later than you need to be.
I 100% agree with you on that one. I've been saying that since day one, since we started this channel.
I mean, that's exactly it. It's like, why are we waiting till now to figure out what we had with all these young players?
Yeah.
You could have dumped all of them in the first part of that first season after we traded Donovan and Rudy, bought all in on all these draft picks that we had, and just been giving them tons of playing time. Now what you've done is you've made it so all these players have one less year of experience.
Oh, yeah.
Keontae George could have been playing full seasons.
Yep.
Yeah, he could have played a full season last year. Taylor Hendricks, same thing. So it's like,
yeah, no, I have to agree with you on that one. It's why now? Like, seriously, I would have to say that we're now in year 4 technically of this rebuild.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into what need to be done year 2. I just think that this fan base has patience when it comes to this, but not this much patience. I think they tried to speed run that rebuild. It did not work out the way they wanted to. They tried to trade what they had the deadline to push them, to tank enough to get them a better draft pick. And with the Jazz's luck when it comes to the draft lottery, they're overestimating players wanting to come here. They're overestimating the fact that the players can block trades to come here. I think they showed their hand. They realized they don't have it, and they're going to be in a situation now where they're just going to have to make the best of what they got and hope for the best and see what they have with this young talent.
I do got to say, I do believe that the hockey team and them choosing this year is totally by design.
You think?
I think that now that they have something that Utah fans can cheer for and come to the Delta Center and be like a part of that downtown community in so many days in a row, it's not going to be so bad to watch a bad Jazz game where the Jazz kind of get their butts kicked on some nights when you can come in and have a Utah hockey team that isn't expected to do anything either, right? Like it's like a young, talented team that, as like a fringe team that might make some noise, and like, so it's like I feel like it's without the hockey team coming to town, I think we have a repeat of what we had last year. I think they push the chips all in and try to play some of these vets and try to get some and try to win some games and see what they have. I think now that they have the hockey team, I think they can say, okay, no, we're good. Let's just see what we got with these young guys.
Yeah, I'd have to say that we're a little bit, that's a little dangerous, in my opinion.
Oh, I totally think
that
it's dangerous.
It's very, very dangerous for the Utah Jazz to be like, okay, the hockey team is going to be the sexy new team in Utah right now. I definitely see a position where Utah is putting themselves in a position where the same owner of both teams is putting themselves in a position where the Utah Hockey Club is going to be, the Utah Jazz are going to be playing second fiddle to the Utah Hockey Club sooner than you want to.
Yeah,
we already have more excitement for the hockey club than we do for the Jazz. The hockey club is already going to be a team that's going to be performing better sooner. We already have a team that we think, both you and I think, have a shot to make it into the Stanley Cup playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And the Jazz are nowhere near that. And we've already seen that the same ownership group had a lot better time of bringing in talent to Utah for the hockey side than they ever did with the Jazz.
Yeah.
So I think by giving that and kind of punting it away, forgive the metaphor from a previous or a different sport, but I think that's a huge gamble and a huge risk for this ownership group to do, and just hoping that the Jazz fans are going to stick around and going to put up with this for longer. Because I got to tell you, it's not something that this team's going to look forward to as a prolonged rebuild that should have been in year 4 by now. We should have our SGA. We missed out on Victor Wembanyama. We missed out on, these elite players that we could have had within this organization simply because
if we started this 2 years ago,
if we did this 2 years ago,
right, where you're pushing all in on your young guys to chew up a lot of those minutes, and you got some bets on the roster to kind of keep you in ball games, right? If you need a few baskets so that you're not getting beat by 40, like you can put Jordan Clarkson in there.
Honestly, man, if they got beat by 40, I would still be okay with it as long as I saw development,
like good competitive basketball, right? You see Keontae making better decisions, and you see him moving towards being successful in some of these high pressure situations and playing good competitive teams. And like, I'm okay getting down 20, 30 points, and then we just hold, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you can keep the lead at 20, 25, like you maybe get a few back, get it into, like, I want to see some good basketball being played. And the next thing is exactly what Greg Hawkins just said.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's good to see the players report to training camp. Weird to see Patty Mills in a Jazz uniform, but that could definitely grow on me. One thing I'm definitely going to say, actually want to get into those comments first.
Well, it's going to transition into the next segment. So finish what you got to say on this. On Media Day.
Yeah. So what I'm looking forward to, though, we did put out 2 videos. By the way, one of them you absolutely loved, in the end of an era of the Utah Jazz and how the arena is going to change because of the Utah Hockey Club. We also talked about another end of the era, part 2, where the legendary Jazz PA announcer is going to be retiring after this year. So there's already 2 reasons why you definitely want to tune in and go to as many Jazz games as possibly can this year. I will give you one more thing. I am looking forward to Caleb Williams getting some serious time on the... Did I say Caleb Williams?
You did. The Bears quarterback that played at USC last year. Is he playing for the Jazz this year?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Guys, give us a comment. Let me know how you think Caleb Williams is going to play for the Jazz this year.
Oh, my gosh. I don't think that's the first time I did that either.
No, you did it last. I think the last time we talked Jazz, you did the same thing.
Cody Williams, right?
Cody Williams, yeah.
I don't know why it says Caleb Williams in my notes. I don't know.
Did it autocorrect it? Remember?
Maybe.
That's real life, Darren.
Yeah, like Dylan Crease.
Dylan Crease.
The legendary pitcher, Dylan Crease. But yeah, so Cody Williams, I definitely am. I'm agreeing with you, man. I think that he's not necessarily the steal of the draft, but he's definitely one of the top 3 to 5 players that have the most potential coming out of that draft. I look forward to watching him and seeing him develop, because honestly, when it comes to the young talent outside of Keontae, I really think that he's got the potential to be the best player out of the draft so far. So that is another reason why I'm looking forward to it for sure. Let's go ahead and hit some of these comments. Is that what we wanted to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Next one up.
Okay. So we've got, it's going to be easier to watch the Jazz game with the concessions all at $3. Perfect transition. Let's get into that. We did want to talk about that when we saw that there. What is your take on this? Now, there's a list of different things so it's Far's ice cream, The nachos.
Bottled water's $2.
Bottled water's $2.
Box of popcorn's $3.
And then everything else is $3.
Nachos
right?
is $3. Hot dogs is $3. And Far's ice cream is $3.
Yeah. So it's probably just vanilla and chocolate, right? But still.
I don't think it matters. The fact is they, these are listed as their fan friendly concessions. And this is just such a great time for this announcement. I mean, I do think that just like even just the comment, right? Like this helps drive up basketball ticket sales because now you can go to a basketball game and you can enjoy the night without spending $50 on concessions.
Oh yeah.
We're going to see probably some of the lowest priced Jazz tickets we've seen in years since this season.
Since the Corbin, Ty Corbin
Absolutely.
days.
Especially knowing that we're not going to win a lot of games. So ticket prices are going to come down. Now you've got concession prices coming down. All of a sudden, it's a lot more affordable to go to a Jazz game, spend the night with your family, watch some Jazz basketball. It's just, this is a perfect timed announcement. It's all by design.
Oh, it definitely is all by design.
It's to get people into the arena. And this is not just for hockey, or this is not just for basketball. This is for hockey as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's a smart move. When they realize they got to do something like that, man, like the Jazz Plus and putting everything, renaming it to Delta Center, putting it back on K-Jazz, doing all those nostalgia plays for the last couple of years because they knew the team wasn't going to be competitive.
Yeah.
Right? You got to continue to do something to get people to show up to games when you know it's not going to be competitive. And this is perfect lining up with that. We had the New Jersey announcements, and then we also now have the concessions there, which is fantastic because $3 nachos, man, just look for your boy in the nacho line every single time we're at a Jazz game.
Yeah, if you're at a Jazz game, check out the nacho line. That's where Darren and I'll be. We're gonna probably have arms full of nachos. I'm gonna ask if they can put them in the popcorn tub and just
there you go.
Over top. Can I get 4 orders of nachos?
We're just wasting paper here. Let's put it all in a popcorn tub.
Yeah,
and,
bring it.
And then that way, when I'm standing in the beer line, I'm not having so much stuff. I can eat the nachos while I'm waiting in the beer line. It's perfect. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's great.
There's so many. You have to go up.
We're going to scroll up there. I
love it. Thank you guys for all the comments. This is awesome.
We're going back to Yamamoto. What's going on here? Okay. And then we also have, I never really go to see Jazz games to see them win. It's like going to see a movie. Or the circus.
Yes. Such a great point.
I would playoff games are a little different. I definitely go to see the basketball, and when you have a new star player, like not necessarily star player, but when the Jazz got Bojan Bogdanovic, I was really excited to see him play. There's definitely a few situations, but yeah, I have to agree. I'm not necessarily if the Jazz do lose, I'm not as heartbroken as I would be, about it because you're right. There's more to going to a Jazz game than
it's all about the entertainment value, and it is fun to watch. It's fun to be in the arena. It gets loud. It's fun.
Yeah, and we got McKinley Cutler there also saying, I genuinely think that we're trying to tank the first year, and the team was just better than expected. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a 10-3 start after everything came out of the gate.
Well, that's exactly it. Lauri Markkanen wasn't supposed to be that guy.
No.
And all these teams had absolutely zero film on the Jazz that year. They're like, what? We got, like Will's coaching. They're like, oh, wait. Nobody knows what we're going to be doing. Yeah. They came out and they're just like, okay, these guys are beating everybody. Why is this happening?
Yeah, you're a good point there. They might have realized they had better than they did, and then they just pulled the tank brakes off a little bit and just tried to see if they can become a playoff team. And I think they missed twice in a row. But again, it's just not having a plan and sticking to it. You had Lauri, extend him early, put him on that long contract, buy out the rest of the salary years. It's just they should have had a plan going into the post Rudy and Donovan era, and they just didn't.
No, they didn't. But in their defense, I didn't think they were going to be as good as they actually were. Yeah. Because with the players that we had, we shouldn't have been that good.
No, but again, they just didn't stick to a plan that was there. And that's
and once they dumped those players, they're like, okay, we should be terrible now. And then they kept winning, and they're like, okay, well, we're not as terrible as we thought we would be after dumping some of our valuable
No, they went 500. They went 500. After the
All-Star break, they went 500. They're like, okay, well, that didn't work out like we planned. We'll just dump some more players in the offseason.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right on that one, McKinley, for sure. Love this next comment from Greg there. This is great. Maybe Yamamoto will play for the Jazz too.
That's what I need. We just need one more Yamamoto.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Just because it's fun to say Yamamoto. That's like 90% of my
Especially when his first name is Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshinobu.
Yeah, but Yoshi is a nickname for that. So you got Yoshi. Yeah, you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And now you got Yamamoto playing for the hockey team. Let's throw him on the Jazz. See what he can do.
Bring him out.
Put him on the court. Does he have a pair of sneakers? Maybe.
I guarantee he does. If not, I'll even hook him up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then
Hello,
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Let's see here.
We're up still. There's more comments.
Oh, we're still up. Okay. Wow, there's just so many. Okay. And so when we got, I'm looking forward to the Jazz this year.
It says I'm not rooting for the Jazz.
I'm not
rooting
for
basketball.
I'm not rooting for the Jazz to play basketball this year. I'm rooting for them to play capture the flag. Exactly. Hashtag capture the flag. Let's get it started, man. On all your socials, let's do it. I'm down for that. For Pacific Northwest, let's do that. I'm rooting for them to actually play Jazz music on the court during halftime. Wouldn't that be cool?
You're like, yeah, bring it. And like, why not? We're the Jazz. Bring some Jazz. This can't be that difficult of a thing to set up.
Yeah, three-peat on the concession stand. I like it. It says three-peat
at the concession stand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I love it. Have you been to a Ford Fan Zone game?
I have not. You keep telling me how awesome
Dude,
it is.
It's so great. Unlimited soda, unlimited nachos, unlimited popcorn, ice cream sandwiches.
I'm telling you, I could individually take them out of business.
I think it was like $30 a ticket there.
Yeah, I'm in. If I could find Ford Van Zone tickets, I'd do it.
Yeah, it was great. It was good times. I've done it twice. Man, had a good dude. Olsen, man, you're killing me. All right, so we got another one here. Like the players, imagine Clarkson with a saxophone. Dude, that'd be great. They're not going to be talking about much during halftime.
Oh, yeah. There's not going to be anything to talk about. They're like, yeah, you guys are all terrible. Clarkson, I need you to get the drums.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
You couldn't pay me to drink Dasani. I remember during COVID, going to Sam's Club and seeing rows of empty shelves and then pallets of Dasani.
Yeah, dude, what was holy cow, that was true. Like the Arrowhead water was gonzo, but the Dasani, and I just thought it was priced too high. I don't know. I think they put salt in their water. Dasani does.
Dasani used to be good water, is it? I don't even know if I've drank Dasani water for years.
It's not great.
Well, it's going to be $2 a bottle, so take your pick.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so again, appreciate it, guys. Love all the comments back and forth there in the chat there. Love to see it for sure. This is great. Let's keep it going there. We also have another one here from throw that one up there. We also have another one from Jonathan. NBA, that's last year a playoff. So again, folks, we want to hear from you. Let us know if you're watching this live on the live stream. Keep it coming for sure. We do want to let you know, folks, that when it comes to Utah Jazz basketball, we did just launch a channel for your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. This is a channel that we have specifically for our Utah Jazz content. All of this stuff we talk about for your Utah Jazz are going on this channel first. We'll be linking that channel in the description below if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap. If you have not subscribed to that channel, please be sure to do so on Utah Jazz DNA, because we will be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Jazz black jerseys. So be sure to subscribe to that channel.
January 2025 is when they're coming out.
Exactly. Be sure to check it out, because we'll be giving one of those away once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to check it out. Also, look at our logos, man. You want a t-shirt with this logo on? Let us know. We'd love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pivot on over to talk about a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
Yep, it's about that time, and I'm excited. My Braves are losing, but it's fine. It's okay. Everything's okay. Let's get that in. Let's get into it.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to a little bit of Major League Baseball here. Now, first, before we get into anything here, we are going to be talking about some sad things because, again, like you said, the Braves are losing. But let's go ahead and get to the saddest part off the bat here, and that is that we have to talk about the legend Pete Rose dying at age 83 following heart complications. Do you have anything on this?
I've got a ton on this.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want to know?
I'm going to let you read first. You go ahead.
Okay. Everybody knows Pete Rose, who he is, what he stood for. He's the MLB leader in hits and games. He had 4,256 hits over 3,562 games. Pete Rose made 17 All-Star games, won 3 World Series, and earned a National League MVP award. This is all kind of tarnished by him throwing it away after he was found guilty of gambling and clearly violating Rule 21 of the MLB. If you guys don't know what Rule 21 is, it clearly states that any player, umpire, or club or league official or employee who shall bet any sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible.
It's the letter of the law, man. Letter of the
pretty
law.
much if you have anything to do with a Major League Baseball game, whether you are an umpire, a player, even if you bet on Major League Baseball, you're out.
Yep.
And it's forever.
It is. Yeah, and this is something I would definitely have a little bit more leniency nowadays, because with all professional sports being in bed with the major booking stations and the booking apps, I would have a little bit more leniency on this one, because I'm like, hey, man, you can't enforce this kind of stuff if you're going to take hundreds of millions of dollars from these betting sites. But yeah, in this case, in this time, yeah, it is true. I mean, this guy, he is the epitome of his nickname was literally Charlie Hustle, this guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Literally his nickname.
Absolutely.
He was once quoted saying, "I'd walk through hell in a suit made of gasoline to play baseball." Just one of the true greats who significantly defined leaving everything out on the field.
Yeah.
This guy never took a pitch off, never took a bat off. If he swung in a grounder and it bounced 2 feet in front of that plate, that guy was hustling down to first base every single time. Every single time he was out on the field. He has a legacy that is tainted. But he's definitely going to go down as one of the best players to ever do it. So when it comes to the hit king, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll remember the good. And yeah,
do you think he finally makes it to the Hall of Fame now?
I don't think so.
I bet you he does. So currently players on the MLB permanently ineligible list are not allowed to be inducted. There is no hold on banned players after they die. So once a player dies off the permanently ineligible list, you can actually be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Pete Rose deserves to be there. No doubt. The fact is there's a ton of players, like I think it was the 1919 World Series where all those players gave the game up.
Yeah, the Black Sox scandal.
Yeah. Those players made it to the Hall of Fame after they died.
Yes, but Major League Baseball did already make a statement on this.
How they did?
Yeah.
Pete Rose?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That the ban is not going to be lifted. He's still permanently banned
Post-mortem.
Posthumously. Posthumously, his ban is not going to be lifted for Major League Baseball. This is just especially during now, this is a very slippery slope when it comes to the fact that they have all this money in gambling sites to lift a ban from somebody, from one of the greatest to have ever played this game, when you've banned him for so long from baseball. I have to agree with Bob Costas on this one. You cannot talk about Major League Baseball without talking about Pete Rose.
Yeah.
You simply can't do it. And you also can't talk about Pete Rose without talking about the gambling.
Yeah.
Let him in to the hall. Let him in there. And also make sure that the whole gambling part is part of his plaque.
Yeah.
Let the story know this is the all-time hit leader, one of the greatest players to ever do it. He also had a ban throughout the rest of his life, from the time he retired to the end of his life, that he was banned from baseball because he broke one of the cardinal rules. He broke the integrity of the game.
The rough part was in the early 2000s, Bud Selig, the MLB commissioner at that time, he offered Rose an opportunity to be reinstated in the league in the early 2000s. And he said, you got to come clean, admit what you did, stay out of the casinos, and stop gambling. And Pete Rose passed.
Yeah.
He said, no, I'm good. I'm not admitting anything. Until 2004, when he wrote his book and he admitted that he did place some bets, but it was only for the Reds to win. And at that point, like, you missed your opportunity, man. Like,
you had a shot.
They would have given him everything he wanted. All Pete Rose wanted was to be recognized as the fantastic baseball player that he was.
Yeah.
He wanted to be able to walk into arenas and say, I'm Pete Rose, and not
the hit king. Yep.
Yeah. And not be associated in all these negative lights. And the fact is he had his chance in the early 2000s with Bud Selig, and he missed it.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there. I don't know if I think that might be a reason enough to not let him in posthumously.
Right.
He had a shot and he chose not to do it. He chose not to come clean. And honestly, I hate to say this because I don't like to speak ill of the dead, and I think he's a great player. Some of the comments he made about the whole Shohei Ohtani thing really bothered me. He says, if I knew all I had to do was get an interpreter and I could have gotten off scot-free, I would have done it. When he made that comment, I was kind of like, oh, dude, really? That's just that's a bad look, man. It's a bad look, especially talking about the one player who's potentially going to break your records. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. It's really not a great look at all.
But anyway, like we said, nothing but love for Pete Rose and what he did for the game. The hit king. We tip our cap to you. Definitely.
May he bet in peace. Thank you, BMW.
That's just great. That's perfect. I love it.
Thank you.
Love it. We also have another comment here. Thoughts on Iowa State. Okay, definitely. We can definitely go back to that one, David. I honestly think that they would be in my top 5 when it comes to potential people to win the conference for sure.
They look tough. They're a very physical football team. And the matchup with Utah is going to be a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really impressed with them. I think they deserve to be in the top 5. And honestly, we could talk about BYU. I think they deserve to be there too. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
They, again, they did jump into being one of the ranked teams in the country right now. So you got to say nothing but good things about the BYU as well. But I definitely think Iowa State has.
Yeah, they just need to keep winning football games.
Yeah, I absolutely think that there's something to be said about that, and I definitely think that they have earned a spot to be considered one of the top 5 potentials for this conference. Absolutely, for sure.
Yep.
Loved it. Thanks for the comment there, David. Appreciate it. Like we do on this live stream, man, if you guys have a comment, jump into it. Even if it's something we're talking about before, we'd love to talk about it and bring it up with you guys. So please feel free to comment as we go. So let's go ahead and continue talking a little about, let's go ahead and jump in the next segment here. And I'm going to say, who is this Busta?
Busta.
That's what I'm going to name this one. Who is this Busta? Or is there somebody who's now posing as the new GM? No? Boo on that one? Boo on that one?
Busta Pose.
Yes. So Farhan Zaidi is out and Buster Posey is in. I love this, man. I absolutely love this. The Giants are my arch rival, but man, do I love this. It is clear that they had that having a great mind. Well, I don't know. You break down. What do you have on this?
I don't have as much as you probably have. I mean, yeah, obviously this guy takes over as the president of baseball operations. And then Posey goes ahead and announces that Pete Patilla will not remain in the general manager, or he's going to have a new role with the organization. I mean, Posey doesn't have any prior front office experience. And I mean, he's going to be pretty much heavily leaning on everybody around him to make some of these moves. So
I really hope he gets a good amount of talent behind him. Like some consultants and stuff like that to really help him out. But yeah, I definitely think that there's going to be a lot to come on that. But yeah, I mean, dude, I absolutely love this. It was clear that just having a great mind for that job in that role was just not enough. Farhan has a great track record with the Dodgers and with the Rays in the past, but clearly the Giants needed more than just someone who knew the right moves to make in that role.
Yeah.
They needed somebody who could close the deal as well. They needed a face of the front office, and who better than the former face of your team, right? This is a player who, after he retired early, by the way, decided to retire early instead of moving to first base, wanted to retire as a catcher. And then he moved back home, and then he moved back to San Francisco, trying to be around the organization about a year or so ago. And, obviously he wanted to be around in the front office. He did get them over the hump when it comes, obviously Farhan Zaidi tried to get Aaron Judge, tried to sign.
They tried to make moves every single offseason to try to make something happen for this Giants organization.
Yeah, still waiting for Arson Judge to start for the Giants for sure. I'd love to see that happen whenever that happens. But, they tried to get the talent in, and Farhan just couldn't get it in. I don't know how long this was in the works, but the rumor was Farhan Zaidi was dragging his feet when it came to the extension, extending Matt Chapman. And that's something that the teams called Buster Posey in, and he finalized that deal to get that Matt Chapman extension completed.
Oh, wow.
So they're probably thinking maybe this is okay. Maybe this is the guy that we need to pay this guy instead of Farhan. Maybe this is our guy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Probably the wrong time to ask you that.
Yeah, of course you waited until I drank.
Sorry.
Exactly. I mean, the fact is if you've got a guy that can come in and make the moves that you can't wait for, right?
That was a ball, dude.
That was way outside. The fact is the Chapman deal needed to be done. And we know that the Giants needed to make additional moves this offseason. Zaidi wasn't getting them done.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an opportunity in here. I think this is huge.
Yeah, I think this is great, man. Watch out for the Giants this offseason during the winter meetings. I think they got the right person in front of the office. This is their Magic Johnson, man.
Yeah.
You're bringing in a former great in your town that's just basically going to be the right face. It's going to help, get some of these players in there, man. Maybe you get I don't blame Farhan Zaidi for not bringing in Carlos Correa. Obviously, that guy's ankle is an issue, and he has missed a lot of time. Giving that guy $360 million for a 10-year deal for a guy who's just always missing time is not the smart move. So he did make a lot of good moves, but the ones that he needed to make, he didn't make. So this makes all sense to me. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to the postseason a little bit before we talk about the other piece there. Let's talk about who's in, who's out.
Okay.
So right now, what we're looking at here, now we're going to talk about this in a little bit. We'll save the Braves stuff for a little bit. But let's talk about who's in, who's out. Detroit knocks out the Astros, swept them 2-0 in the wild card series. That was a surprise to see, man. A lot of the experts, foul territory included, expected these guys to go all the way to the World Series. What do you think about that?
I mean, the Astros they're such an experienced postseason team. When they got in there, they're very posed. You know what I mean? Like they even watching that game when they were down yesterday, they were still just making plays and doing every single thing that looked like these guys still got a chance. I mean, without Tarek Skubal at the pitching, I mean, I don't know if the Tigers pull that first one out.
No, I don't think
but
they do either.
But Skubal was, and if you haven't watched Tarek Skubal, I've seen very limited reps of this guy. Right, I watched a bunch like early in the season, but my God, is he good?
He's really good.
Just everything. I mean, he's one of those guys that throws you a first pitch strike, and it doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about a 98-mile-an-hour fastball if there's a chance it's going to be an 87-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah, you just there's you got no.
You're like, I can either wait on this and hopefully it's going to be something, or plan B, I swing and look really silly the whole time I'm swinging.
Right. And and my bat hits the ground before the ball touches the glove.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's insane how good he is. He is my pick to win the AL Cy Young. We'll see if that holds out.
Yeah.
I think that the NL is pretty much wrapped up by your boy Chris Sale. It's a shame that we're not going to get to see him this round. But
we are. He's going to pitch tomorrow. Oh, actually, he can't pitch in the series.
No, he can't. But that's okay. But yeah, so I think that's crazy that the Astros are already out, man. That was a strike.
No, swing the bat.
Oh, I thought you said that's.
Jeez, swing the damn bat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not looking so great right now, and I really would appreciate if you guys push this to 3 games. So, but that's just me. We'll get ahead and talk about the player seating here in a minute. But yeah, anyway, also the Royals knocked out another favorite, which is weird to say that out loud, that the Orioles were a favorite in this round.
Right.
It's really hard to get around saying that, but they have been one of the better teams in the AL the last couple of years.
They have.
The Bays are officiating, facing elimination tonight. Max Fried did not look good. Actually, I think he did great in the first inning. I just think that comebacker was a bit of a problem there. Musgrove got knocked out as well early on.
Yeah.
And it became a bullpen game. But anyway, what do you got on the Royals and the Orioles?
Beating the Orioles. I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of that series. I was kind of watching some of the other games, and that was right in the time where I missed some of that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the highlights that I saw, I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is he's that guy for that team.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like he's such a lockdown defensive player. His bat's always there. I don't know, man. I like the Royals. I mean,
I do too. And of course, the main thing you can't miss out on the Royals. You can't pass on them for one reason only. And we know why that is.
Why?
Will Smith.
Oh, that's exactly it.
They got Will Smith in the bullpen.
They got Will Smith.
All they need to get past the Orioles. Really weird to have the Royals and the Orioles. It's tough to say those names.
Royals, Orioles.
Yeah, it's a little weird there. But yeah, so anyway, so that's what it looks like there. We've got, so that means that the Yankees are going to be playing the Tigers, right?
Is it Yankees Tigers? I can't remember I don't have the seating in front of me.
So I do know that this kind of makes this kind of a bummer for the Yankees though, because I do think that it was important for them I think they need to exercise that demon. I think they need to be the ones who knocked the Astros out of the playoffs, I think.
Right.
What the hell are you guys?
The Braves just stranded another runner.
What are you guys swinging at, dude? That almost bounced in front of the plate.
We only need 3. Okay. We only need 3. This game's still within reach. Oh, thanks, Greg Hawkins. It's going to be Yankees, Royals, Tigers, Guardians.
Okay.
Crazy
Yankees,
to think
Royals,
the Guardians.
Yeah, they got a bye, dude. That is so weird. How'd they end up with the second best record in the American League?
Yeah.
That's an interesting situation there. They did that quietly, man. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that, but yeah, so I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see when it comes on that side there on the American League side. I definitely think the Yankees are going to make short work of the Royals, and I definitely think the Tigers and the Guardians, that's going to be a series to watch, man, because I don't know who you take out of that one.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
That one's going to be a tough one. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Tigers. I'd love to see the Tigers there. because I kind of like the whole redemption arc you got from AJ Hinch, the guy who was the manager of the Astros during the trash can era. He hated it, but he didn't realize that he had the power to stop it. And then he got fired. He fell on the sword for all that. Then went over to the Tigers, was bad for the first 2 years, and now comes back to beat that team and his old team.
Yeah, there's some sweet revenge in that.
Yeah, so I want to see them kind of get there, but I definitely think that that series is going to be one to watch. I definitely think the Yankees are going to make short work of the Royals, though. Sure.
No, I agree.
On the Phillies playing the winner of the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers, I'm going to have to say that who do you got on that one, the Mets or the Brewers?
The Mets bullpen is really good.
I didn't expect the Mets to actually.
I didn't either.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't either, but the Mets bullpen looked really good when they just finished that series with the Braves.
Yeah, I got to say, that whole last game there, I just don't like the look of that.
I love it.
What you got? I thought that was
I told
terrible.
you, I text you. This is a gentleman's agreement.
And you don't see why that's wrong. That's gaming the system, man.
No, it's not. There was a gentleman's agreement. Hey, we can both come into this and we can both leave this with the season intact.
Yeah.
Screw the Diamondbacks. You win one, we win one.
Okay. I would say that I would agree that was something that they did do if it wasn't for the fact that everybody except for Francisco Lindor did start the second game. So I do think that there may have been that they weren't necessarily trying, but they definitely weren't risking anything.
No, and that's exactly it. They knew that game, winning that game meant absolutely nothing to them.
Yeah, but having both teams celebrate together that they made the postseason on the field afterward,
sportsmanship, man.
Dude, it's kind of got a bad taste. Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of the ick there for sure. So yeah, I don't know, but I definitely think that it's going to be interesting there. I think that the Brewers beat the Mets, honestly. I just think that they're an all-around better team. I think pitching wise, I don't know. It's a tough one to say, but I'm going to go with Milwaukee on that one. And then the Dodgers are going to play whoever wins between the Braves and the Padres.
So the Braves.
So yeah, I love this internal optimist over here. The Utes are going to win the national title, and the Braves are going to go all the way to the World Series. I love seeing this over here. This is great. Ultimate optimism.
You guys are welcome.
I have a problem with the seeding, man. I think they need to reseed or do something, man, because that's the whole purpose of this is to incentivize the teams to still try and win their divisions, even though there's 3 wild card teams now, and you're supposed to try and win as many games as possible so you get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And the Dodgers ended up somehow, by the grace of I don't know who sacrificed a chicken or what, but the Dodgers with the most days on the IL in baseball history with two rotations on the IL for starting pitchers. The Dodgers somehow ended up with the best record in baseball, and now they're going to have to play the second best team in baseball going into the first round that they're going to play in the NLDS. I don't think that that's the way they wanted to draw that up. I think there needs to be some reseeding there. But what's the point? Having the best record. I honestly think the Phillies tanked towards the end so they can get the better matchup. I honestly think they didn't try as hard because they're like, who would you rather play? The Padres or the Mets or Brewers. Well, I think that was going to be a pretty easy decision to make.
Yeah.
So
and even to go back one step further, the Padres or the Braves or the Mets and the Brewers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like even just looking at it from before the series started.
If Sale was playing, I would say that the Braves had a much better chance in this one, and I would rather play the Mets or the Brewers over the Braves or the Padres. Definitely. No chance there. So yeah, again, I don't understand it. Want home field advantage throughout the World Series. That's all great, but there's definitely a lot of room to be had on the way they have this, because this is not the first time that the Dodgers have gotten screwed by having the best record in the National League.
Right.
But anyway, I'll digress on that. Who do you got coming out of the Padres and Dodgers for the next round?
I have,
if the Braves don't make it. Big if.
Yeah, big if. Okay, big if. Because the Braves are still in this one. It's only the bottom of the 7th. We've got plenty of time. We've still got 6 outs.
That's just a run every 2 outs. They got this.
That's just put a couple people on, hit one deep. Look, I mean, they're racking it in right now. They're going to be just fine. So I'm not even going to call who I say.
Okay.
Because I don't believe that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we got a comment there coming from Tammy Price, friend of the channel. Thanks for chiming in there.
Tammy Price, friend of the channel.
I agree. The seating doesn't make sense. I'd have to agree with you there. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't see. And then on the other side, doesn't seem to be that big a deal. You got the Yankees, who are going to be playing the Detroit Tigers. It's not like they're playing, the second best team in their league. So I don't know. Definitely seems a little bit. Ooh, we got a little call there for sure. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I will tell you this. Out of the 27 experts at ESPN, 22 of them are picking the Padres to beat the Dodgers in the NLDS. 22 of them.
Really?
Yes. Even though all the sports books have the Dodgers winning this round, all the experts are all saying that the Padres are going to beat the Dodgers. 22 out of 27 ESPN experts say the Padres are winning this one.
This Padres offense, I'm very impressed with.
Yeah.
They can really put the bat on the ball.
Yeah. Especially when you hang a curveball in the middle of the plate. That doesn't help.
Well,
sure.
It doesn't help, but I'm saying they really do. They do a good job hitting the ball. This guy's amazing. This Jackson Merrill.
Oh, dude, he's my rookie of the year candidate, man.
He's so good. It's really annoying.
It wasn't for Dylan Cease. Not Dylan Cease.
Dylan Crease?
Not Dylan Crease either.
Paul Skeens.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he would be the rookie of the year. I really think he would be it. But that's another curveball right over the heart of the plate. Smart.
Didn't start there, though.
No, love that pitch. It's a great idea. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think it's a little ridiculous. Yeah, the Dodgers are in a situation where they really only have two starters, and they were relying on Walker Buehler to come out there and dominate to be a third starter. He did show well in the last couple starts, but I do think that the Dodgers are going to be in a better position when it comes to their bullpen and when it comes to the top of the lineup. You got Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy is going to be in this one. These are all proven postseason, and you also have Mr. Postseason himself, Kike Hernandez.
Dude, Kike!
I definitely would not sell the Dodgers short when it comes to the offense. Yes, the starting pitching is sus, and you don't expect a lot out of these guys.
Sus at best.
We got Landon Knack as your potential fourth game starter, but it's better than last year. I mean, you had freaking what's his name, Lance Lynn pitching over Ryan Pepio last year. So I don't know. I definitely think the Dodgers are in a better position this year than they were last year when they got swept out of the playoffs by the
Dodgers could use Trevor Bauer right now.
A lot of teams can use Trevor Bauer, but
the Braves could use Trevor Bauer.
A lot of teams could use Trevor Bauer right about now, but I definitely think out of all the teams,
no, it's right out
there.
Yeah,
you got a guy there. Out of all the teams there that I think he's not likely to go to, is definitely going to be the Dodgers.
He's not going there.
No, I think the Dodgers like the idea they had to pay the guy.
Hard pass.
Like, wait a minute, we had to pay you $40 million and you still did a bunch of dumb stuff that got you in trouble. Yeah, I'm a Bauer supporter. I am. I want him back in Major League Baseball. But the acts that you did off the field when you are the highest paid player in baseball, AAV, you got to do better than that, man. You got to do better. You got to have better company around you. I don't know who's managing you. I do know who's managing you, but when it comes to who's keeping you in the right spot, you definitely screwed up when it comes to that. And the Dodgers still had to pay you, which doesn't seem fair at all. But yeah, I definitely think he does deserve a shot in the league. I just don't think the Dodgers are going to be it. Let's see here. Trevor Bauer is busy playing in Mexican League. Surely he would never come back, right, guys? I like it. Yeah, he's dominating the Mexican League, man, for sure.
But dominated. That's past tense, man.
Yeah,
he dominated that league.
Yes, but not all of his videos are caught up yet. You guys stop spoiling it.
That's true. Sorry.
Yes, you can read the paper and see that his team, and how well they did, but you gotta let his videos come out.
We got lots of good videos
on Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer.
Check it out.
We're big fans. We're big fans of
supporters.
Trevor Bauer in this channel.
We definitely think he deserves another shot. Absolutely. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of teams in baseball that could have used him.
Go Braves.
I hope he does go back to the MPB and gets the chance to win their Cy Young. So he could be the only player who won.
That'd be awesome.
In both leagues. Actually, I prefer that he gets a job with Major League Baseball, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over. Let's pivot on over to talk, a little bit about why we think Major League Baseball listens to this channel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
I'm pretty sure they do, man. It's kind of not hard to miss there. In case you guys missed it, the Major League Baseball did announce this year, and Tammy, you probably have your ears on for this one because you were in the chat where we were talking about this one, that they have come out and said they're doing away with the All-Star jerseys when it comes to them playing in the All-Star game with those custom National League, American League jerseys. Something we talked about ad nauseum on this channel, that we thought that those were just stupid. We liked it better when they played in their actual jerseys. If you want to make special hats with their
Their
logos,
home or away jersey.
their home or away jersey, and that's what they wore during the All-Star game, because you can identify your players and your team.
Because the fact is all that was a money grab. It's blatantly obvious. All they wanted to do was sell you an All-Star jersey with your favorite player's name on it to show that it was an All-Star jersey.
Yeah, and it's not like you're not, and no one's buying those because they're terrible.
They're terrible.
And it's not like that you can't still sell them. They're going to be on during the workouts. They're doing it during the home run derby, during the celebrity tournament and all that stuff. Those jerseys will still be there. They'll still be on the court.
Yeah.
They're just not going to be wearing them in the game.
Which is great.
Which is a win for all you folks there. The DNA Nation. We've got to come up with a name for you guys out there. DNA Nation.
No, that's weird.
DNA OGs. The OGs. No, that's going to be going back. You got to be around for the channel for that. For the first 1,000 subscribers, if you're one of the top 1,000, you are a DNA OG for sure. But yeah, so we definitely got to come up with a name. Let us know a name for the chat what you guys want us to call you there as far as a nickname for the followers of this channel. We could use Bauer instead of Assad or Wicks for the Cubs. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Cubs could use a starter for sure.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer could help the Cubs a ton. Oh, get out of here.
Imanaga.
Get out of there.
That's great.
Get out.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Was that somebody on first?
There was somebody on first. 4 or 5 Braves.
There we go.
This is why I'm an eternal optimist, Aaron.
I like it. But yeah, so again, they definitely could use some help there for the Cubs there. And like I said, there are definitely teams out there. He is right. There are some teams out there that don't have a top 3 that are better than him, but I wouldn't say there's not teams that don't have a top 3 better than him. Definitely the Mariners, the Dodgers. I think the Braves, when they're healthy, have a better one. But we really love to see Trevor Bauer back in the baseball for sure. And Tammy Price jumps in the comment there, friend of the channel, saying yes. So let's go ahead and continue the chat about the jerseys, shall we?
Yeah.
So they also announced more on this. They have actually announced that I don't know if you cued into our short there, where you basically laid down the law about when it comes to that. They were just a little late getting to the game there. Do you want to break this down?
No, I don't.
You don't know about this?
Oh, I don't think so.
You just the All-Star jerseys, all you got?
Yeah, that was pretty much what I got.
Okay. So again, this is the main reason why I think they watch the channel.
Okay.
MLB has announced they are rolling back the jerseys that they released with FedEx and Nike this year. The Nike Pro whatever Max jerseys they have. Yeah. They're going away. They're going back to the old jerseys.
They are going back to the old jerseys?
Yes. They've listened to the fans. They've
listened to DNA Sports Recap.
They watched DNA Sports Recap. Now, while they're saying it's going to take until 2026 to roll everything out, first thing they do know is by spring training of this season, the road grays are going to now match. They're not going to have the sweating, so they're going to have the standard stuff that we had in 2023. Stop complaining, Machado. Especially when he swings like that right after. That's terrible.
That was a terrible swing.
But going back, they're going back to the 2023 jerseys, and they're going to go back to the regular patches. So they're going to be stitched, not iron on. They're going to be the regular size. They're basically just undoing everything and going back to the way it was.
Even the quick creep patches?
Yeah, everything's going to be the same as 2023. Okay. Even the dumbest patch in Major League Baseball on the sleeve.
Don't make me say it, Darren.
It's a great product. Fantastic. Better than Motorola. Who has a Motorola phone? Like, seriously.
Who has a Motorola anything is what I want to know. God.
That was a good pitch, though. That was a good pitch.
He should have hit it.
He should have swung on. He's arguing it. That's stupid. But yeah, so anybody, all you folks out there on DNA Nation out there who listen to our videos, just know that Major League Baseball is watching too, and they did hear us on that one. They're going back and changing all the jerseys back to the way they are. The road games are going to be back to normal starting. The road jerseys are going to be back to normal starting next season, so we don't have that awkward mismatching grays or the sweat stains that you saw on jerseys throughout this year.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Everything will be changed back by 2026. Next year, they're also going to still have the custom pants because this year they actually had a chance to pick between like 6 different fits. Yeah, so that's a good swing though. Yeah, so you guys did it. You guys complained enough. DNA Sports Recap. Major League Baseball heard us. And
you're welcome.
But yeah, so once again, folks, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below what you think when it comes to all this, when it comes to Major League Baseball reversing course and going back to the jerseys that were before. That way we don't have the split in the stupid part of the jerseys. That
like the Braves jerseys are horrible.
Yeah.
They split the second A in half.
Yeah. And the Dodgers, it should be split between the O and the D. And
Yeah.
it's right in the middle of the D, which is where you don't like it.
Did you just say that out loud?
I did. That's going to be a clip on the video for sure. But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about all this? Do you think about the jerseys being switched back to the normal all-star jerseys versus where the teams will be wearing their own? And also about the fact that the Major League Baseball is going to be changing all the uniforms back to the way they were back in 2023, which is a huge, huge win because it's something we all complained about for sure. We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below.
Absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube, are we closing this?
Go ahead.
Okay. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available audio only wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you rate it, review it. We appreciate all your guys' engagement.
And remember, folks, we did just hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. We are now at 1,100 subscribers on this channel. Thank you guys very much for that. We are giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell and smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom.
We're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. 5 subscribers are all going to earn $100 each. So make sure that you're tuned into that, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. And as always, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.